Hey everybody, this is the last video looking at the Duel in the Desert, and I'm sorry for the delay, but the iPad I'd recorded it on had been damaged, and it took me a while to recover the file, so here you have it. It's the 11 o'clock turn, and things are looking pretty bad for the Austrians. They had been pushed back on the right by a mass of French heavy cavalry that had blunted their attempt to push the Saxons onto a level and giving them a hope for a victory. Now they're still holding on along the line, but they've been pounded pretty badly by a mass of French artillery, and a few French skirmishers have gotten over the Rustbach, as have some cavalry there in the area of Bommersdorf. Now over here on the extreme Austrian left, Davout is moving through inexorably, and they just have so much cavalry, and there's so little that the Austrians can do about it. Now we move forward a bit, and we have pulled back. The Bavarians managed to come in and fill in for where the Saxons had been, and the Saxons were just one battalion shy of flipping onto a level. So we were pulling back and shifting over to try to go on the defense on the Austrian right. Over here on the Austrian center and left, the French are across at Bommersdorf and pushing back. That Austrian corps is on level 2 and in pretty bad shape, and there's not much to stop the French at this point from just taking over everything on the plateau. We're still holding on to Markgrafel's Nuegen, or however you pronounce it, but over on the Austrian left, there's not anything there left to really stop Davout's massive corps and the cavalry that's associated with that. So here we have the map at the end of the French 12-20 turn, which is where we called the game. The Austrians still have some force on the right, but there's just not enough to do any damage to the French, and the idea would be to try to pull them off. Along the Rustbach there between Wagram and Bommersdorf, there's still some Austrian forces, but the French have pushed across. They've got cavalry up in and among the Austrians, and given that there's not a lot of depth behind the Austrian line, once those units rout, they don't have 15 hexes to find shelter, and they're going to be gone off the map. And the French basically at this point had the writing was definitely on the wall, and there wasn't anything that we could do to prevent or slow their victory. The superiority of French cavalry and the masses of French artillery and general overwhelming forces that they have make this battle a very challenging one, or nearly impossible for the Austrians. We came really close by possibly getting the Saxon corps or group to go on a level, and the Army of Italy had gone on a level very conveniently, but not quite enough to make it a victory. This was definitely going to be a French victory when we called it at 12:20. Altogether, we had a great time. It's always fun to go to these events at ConSim. The folks that are there are a lot of fun. Being able to play with a group of people is a different feel than it is when you're doing either one-on-one or playing these games solo, and get to meet some different people from around the country and enjoy the game. So I hope that if you've had a chance to purchase Wagram, you'll enjoy it. If not, maybe come out to ConSim at some point in the future and join in one of the games there that either one of the companies is supporting, or one that you and other La Bataille fans might want to host as well. Other than that, be well and enjoy your gaming.